Ma'am, do not touch the rifle. His voice wasn't loud. It was thunder, sharp, precise, echoing through the silence like a warning shot. Every head turned, cameras lowered, conversations died mid-sentence. The air around the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington froze, every ounce of dignity and stillness shattered by a single reckless moment. She giggled, swaying on her heels. The woman, late 20s, drop-dead gorgeous, dressed like she walked off a runway, stood way too close to the rope line. Her tight-fitted red shirt clung to her frame like a second skin. A wine bottle peeked from her designer bag. Her perfume arrived seconds before she did, but none of it masked the smell of disrespect. "Relax, it's just a statue," she slurred, stretching her hand out toward the gleaming rifle strapped to the tomb guard's shoulder. Instantly, like a scene from a military thriller, the tomb guard pivoted. One click of his heel, one fluid motion of control. The bayonet glinted in the sun, angled perfectly across his chest. He did not flinch. He did not break form. "You are in a place of honor. Step back behind the line, now." The crowd stood stunned. Children's mouths dropped open. Veterans clenched their jaws. The woman, now half aware of the hundreds of eyes burning into her, blinked, confused. It's not that serious. It was that serious. Earlier that day, the woman had arrived with a group of influencers doing a patriotic hot girl tour. It was meant to be ironic. Monuments, selfies, a little wine, and a lot of laughs. Her followers cheered her on from Instagram stories. Hashtags like #SlayArlington and "Hot and Historic" floated with every snap. She didn't mean to offend. She thought she was being bold, cute, different. But the man guarding the tomb, he wasn't here for her views. He wasn't here to flirt or entertain. He was here on sacred duty, honoring the fallen whose names are known only to God. Every movement he made had been rehearsed, repeated, and revered. Every step he took bore the weight of sacrifice. He had stood through blistering sun, slicing rain, snow, hail, and silence. His uniform was pristine, his face unreadable, his mission unbreakable, and now his sacred space had been invaded. The tourists weren't just silent now, they were reverent. An elderly veteran standing nearby removed his hat and whispered, This is what honor looks like." A child beside him whispered, "Is he a robot?" "No," the veteran said, eyes glistening. "He's a soldier." The woman, finally realizing the gravity of what she had done, staggered back behind the rope, her cheeks flushed, not from alcohol, but from shame. She turned away from the rifle, from the guard, from the crowd that once watched her like a goddess and now saw only disgrace. The tomb guard never broke form. He returned to his position, step, click, heel, turn, like nothing had happened. But everything had. The moment was captured on a dozen phones, but no one uploaded it for laughs. No one added music or memes. They posted it with reverence. The video went viral for a different reason, because in a world obsessed with clout, one man reminded us what discipline looks like. The clip was shared with the caption, "She touched a rifle. He touched our hearts." Later that day, she returned. Alone, sober, no cameras, no makeup. She stood behind the rope line. Still, silent. She watched him march again, watched the sacred ritual she had mocked. And when the ceremony ended, she stepped forward, not to take, but to give. She placed a single white rose just outside the rope line, bowed her head and whispered, "I'm sorry." The guard didn't respond. He didn't need to. Because this wasn't about her ego. This was about the fallen. Beauty can command attention, but honor commands respect. And in a world that applauds loudness, sometimes the most powerful thing is discipline in silence. Disrespect isn't always shouted, it's in the small gestures we think no one will notice. But somebody always does. And when you step over the line, whether literal or moral, there are still people willing to remind you of what it means to stand for something greater than yourself. If you felt something, even for a second, write it below. Tell us where you're watching from and one word that describes your emotion right now. Your comments inspire others more than you know. Like, share, and subscribe to stay part of this growing family.